Hello boys and girls, welcome to Reading with Let's Read. How are you today? How's the weather like over where you are? It's lovely over here in England. Today we're going to be reading the book An Otter's First Swim by Adrian Kenaway. Late one morning, when the tide was low, a mother otter led her 3 cubs over the rocks and the seaweed to the shoreline. "You've been bobbing about in the shallows, but it is time now for your first swimming lesson in deep water," she said. "You'll love swimming." "Do you like swimming?" She dived in and splashed them playfully. "Come in, the water's lovely," she whistled happily. The little otters weren't so certain. Why do you think they were uncertain? She picked up the first little otter and carried her into the sea, where, with a little help, soon she was playing and swimming. The second little otter thought it looked like fun and dived in before his mother came back. He learned quickly too and floated, swam and played with his sister and mother. "Ooh, the second little otter seems very brave." The third little otter stayed behind. Why do you think he stayed behind? His sister and brother whistled to him to join them. "Come on, it's lovely," they called. But when the cold water splashed against him, he sprang back. It was cold and horrid. What does he think of the water? There was no way he was going into that water. He trotted away from the sea as fast as his little legs would carry him. His mother whistled and called after him, but he didn't turn around. Why did he not turn around? Where do you think he's going? He climbed on a rock and decided to lie in the sun for a while to catch his breath. Before he knew it, he was yawning, and shortly after that, he was fast asleep. What do you think might happen? He woke with a start to the sound of piercing whistles. His family were trying to get his attention. The tide had turned and the sea was rising quickly all around his rock. The little otter stood up and looked around anxiously for another rock to jump onto, but he was trapped. Uh-oh. What should he do? The water was getting higher and higher, and the other otters swam around, shouting for him to jump in. But he didn't want to go in, and he didn't know what to do. Soon, there was only one thing he could do. What do you think the only thing was? Do you think he'll be brave? Splash! He was in the water and sinking to the bottom. What does he need to do to not sink? "Swim up, up," his mother said. She was right behind him, guiding him towards the surface. As they reached the surface, she said, "Now breathe," and showed him how. And to the little otter's surprise, now he was swimming, he found pleasure in the cool water. How did he feel about water? Is he afraid? Soon he was diving for fish, chasing his mother, and playing with his brother and sister. He had so much fun that he didn't realize that the hours were passing, and soon it was time to go home. Otter facts. There are 13 types of otter throughout the world. This story is about an Eurasian otter, the only otter native to the UK. Where are they found? Eurasian otters live throughout Europe, right up to the Arctic Circle, and all over most of Asia and northern Africa. They are often confused with sea otters, which tend to be bigger and heavier, and are found along the Pacific coast of North America. Eurasian otters live by lakes, rivers, marshes, and long rocky coastlines. They make mossy dens under rocks and tree roots. These dens are called holts. What do they eat? They hunt for fish and crabs and use rocks as tools to break open shellfish. On dry land, they search for frogs, birds, and small mammals. Their sensitive whiskers and keen sense of smell help them to find food. Swimming. When the cubs are about 3 months old, their mother takes them to the water. They are often frightened of the water, and it can take us several days to coax them in. At first, they simply float and bob around, but when they are about 4 months old, they have their first dive. Once they learn, they become exceptional swimmers. They have 2 layers of fur, a thick waterproof outer layer and a warm inner one, webbed toes, and a rudder-like tail to help them move faster in the water. They can even close their ears and nostrils while underwater, and they hold their breath for about 20 seconds. Otters in danger. In many countries, otters have become extinct or endangered because of pollution and hunting. Conservationists are helping to save wild otters. To support or find out more about otter conservation, contact the International Otter Survival Fund. And that's the end of the story. I hope you've enjoyed this book. If you'd like to join us in the next video, please subscribe and see you next time. Have a good day. Bye bye.